What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So we have a few things that I want to talk about today. The first thing we want to talk about, checks go out today. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the infrastructure bill. That first infrastructure bill will be signed off by the president today. So we're going to talk about the details and what's in that bill. And I also want to talk about a senator who is not seeking re-election. And this is an interesting story because we really need to start looking into term limits because we have a senator here who's been in office for a very, very long time. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first off, on this channel, we talk about news that matters. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the checks that are going out today. So the child tax credit, those checks will be going out today. So make sure you're checking your bank account to see if the checks have arrived. They can arrive electronically. They can also send out checks. So basically the way that you've been receiving it these last few months, that's the same way that you'll be receiving it now. Now, there are only 2 checks left. Okay, so you have the check that's going out today, and then you also have a check in December. Now, we don't have a second infrastructure bill yet. So because we don't have a second infrastructure bill, we can't anticipate seeing another check in January until that bill is signed. So we're waiting to see what happens when it comes to that second infrastructure bill. And I say signed, and that's not even the right word. It needs to get approved in the House, approved in the Senate, and then signed by the president. So we have a little ways to go when it comes down to it. We know that Senator Manchin is still a holdout. Senator Sinema is still the holdout in the Senate. So we don't know how they're going to move when it comes to this. Now, the House, it seems like the House is getting things together, and they do want to vote on this second infrastructure bill this week. So we'll have to see if that vote does happen. And if the House does vote on this bill and approve it, then it will go over to the Senate, where the Senate will have to negotiate with Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema to try to see if they can get the 50 votes that's needed for this reconciliation bill. So we're going to have to stay tuned and see where that goes. Okay, so now let's talk about this first infrastructure bill. So the first infrastructure bill gets signed off today, and let's take a look at what is in this bill, because I think this is very important for us to focus on so we can find out exactly what these politicians agreed to. So this is what we're looking at right now. We know it's about a $1.2 trillion bill. Roads and bridges, we're looking at $110 billion for roads and bridges. Public transit, $39 billion. Railways, $66 billion. Power grids, $73 billion. Electric vehicles, $7.5 billion. And they want to build more of these electric stations so you can travel longer distances. So let's say you want to go to Las Vegas, you have some different stations throughout that route, which they already have some stations, electric stations, but they want to create more. So electric buses, ferries, $7.5 billion. Airport, waterways, $42 billion. This is great. Airports, we need to improve our airports. They are not up to standard. When you start traveling to other countries, you really see how nice airports can be. But we're not at that level yet. Climate change, $50 billion. Drinking water, $55 billion. Broadband internet, $65 billion. Environmental spending, $21 billion. And transportation safety, $11 billion. And so that's what we're looking at when it comes to the first infrastructure bill. The president will be signing it off today, and this is going to be a big ceremony. We've been waiting 20 years for an infrastructure bill, and finally we have one. And it's a bipartisan bill, which is very important. So we'll have to see how fast the government can get this infrastructure money to these cities and counties so they can start building these roads and bridges. So we'll have to stay tuned and see how that works out. But very, very exciting time. This first infrastructure bill, finally, it will be signed off by the president, and now we can focus on that second infrastructure bill. Okay, the last story I want to talk about, Senator Leahy, he will not be seeking re-election. Now, this is important for us to focus on because sometimes we don't really realize how long these politicians have been in office. This politician has been in office since 1974. We're talking about 8 terms. 8 terms as a senator. 8 terms means 6 years per term, 48 years he's been in the Senate. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that is way too long. I think we need to start really strongly considering term limits because we should not have politicians in one position for 48 years. Now, this is something that I really don't agree with. I don't agree with politicians being in office this long. 48 years is way too long. I want to know what you guys think about this, so let me know down below. And I also want to know, I put out a request for you guys to let me know how much gas is where you live. So please let me know in the comment section how much gas is where you live. Right now in Southern California, it's about $4.79 since last I checked. What are gas prices in your city? Let me know. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.